everyone, and welcome to ReJoyce Reborns. Today I'm going to show you how I make my magnetic pacifiers. So for this, all you will need is a piece of felt like this, which I got for 59 cents at Michael's. I got a 2-pack of pacifiers at Dollar Tree for $1.25. I have a glue gun that has not been used for hot glue at all. I got at the dollar store. I think it was $2. I have E6000 glue. I got at Michael's for $12.99. And I have a pair of scissors. So, for this, and you're going to need, of course, your neodymium, or if that's how you say it, your rare earth strong magnets. I'm going to keep mine away from my camera. So, what I did already is I used the scissors and I cut off the nubbies of the pacifiers. And it's best if you get these ones, because these ones are easier to work with, because you don't have to put the magnets here. And I will show you how in a minute. This, though, I am going to cover with felt, but we'll get to that. So, I already cut off the nubby. Then you're going to need a flat handle screwdriver. I have my little trusty one here. And all I did is where the nubby was, you can see it there, there's a hole. You stick your screwdriver in there and push as hard as you can, and the back will fall off. That is where your magnet's going to go. Now, these pacifiers aren't very forgiving. My magnet's a little big, hence why I need the hot glue gun. Because my magnet will not fit in there. Some I've seen are smaller and will. So, there's plastic in my way. So what I'm doing with the hot glue gun is, I had it plugged in, so it is hot. If you can see the plastic in there, I'm taking the glue gun and I'm melting it out. That's why it's important that this glue gun was not used for any glue, because you don't want any hot glue getting in there. And I don't know how good you can see that, yeah? I'm just melting out the plastic that's in the middle of it. So you melt out the plastic in the middle. Which I'm doing now. So once you have the plastic melted out of the middle of this piece, you're going to need to melt out some of that plastic with the glue gun. Just because I have bigger magnets, like they're not really forgiving and they're not small or nothing, so that's why I like to use the hot glue gun. And I'm trying to hold the camera and record so you can see what I'm doing. If you're brave enough and you want to cut that plastic out with an X-Acto knife, you go right ahead. But I am clumsy and I value my fingers. Oops. So, it's not going to work that way. Just go ahead and melt out that plastic so it looks like that. And of course I can clean up the mess with my X-Acto knife, which I'm not going to do on camera because I need to concentrate. So now that you have your plastic melted out and you cleaned it with the X-Acto knife, sorry, my camera strap, you should have something that looks like this. And it's really cloudy and actually snowy / wet rain, so I don't have too good light today, but you should have something that looks like that. And my we'll just call it my rare earth magnet, because I can't say it. nicely fits in there. And there. See? So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take my magnet and my cloth, and I'm going to cut out a small piece of cloth or felt the size of this soother circle. So all I need is that little circle, or that little, this little spot, so it doesn't touch her face. So I probably only need a little teeny tiny circle because there's nothing really to damage her face with, but I don't want any chances. You don't really need cloth for these types of soothers if you do it putting it in the back way, but I feel better with it because she's my first reborn baby, and yeah. So I'm just cutting a little circle off camera here. I'm sorry. So here is my circle, and it's big enough just to cover that. That's all you want to cover. You don't want to cover the whole pacifier, because if you do, on the other side, you're going to see it, and I don't want that. So I just cut a circle big enough to cover that. So now, oh, this was close to my camera. So now I take my rare earth magnet and my little circle and my pacifier, because I gotta see where on Joyce Anna exactly. This magnet sticks to everything. It's like really strong. Where exactly I want the soother to sit. So I'm just getting Joyce here. She's looking all gorgeous today. So here's the other soother. I didn't make this one. Hi, baby girl. Say hi. Okay, so I'm going to use a small dot so it doesn't ruin her paint, and see which side of the magnet is my positive and negative side. So let's try this side. I don't want to scratch her paint. So that side's pushing away, so I know it's this side of the magnet that sits right about there on her face. Hence is where I want to glue it in the pacifier, so that the pacifier sits perfectly on her face. So for example, I'm going to glue mine off to the side a little bit, because that's just where hers is sitting, is off to the side. This magnet is, this pacifier is a little bit big on her. So that's exactly where I want to glue it, so I know that I have to take out more plastic, and then I will show you gluing it. So I've melted out the rest of my plastic with the glue gun and managed to burn my finger. And this is the way I want it to sit on her face, because her magnet is a bit off to the side. Yours may be different. So now I am going to go ahead and use the E6000 glue and glue the magnet exactly in that position. Now, I am not having the glue anywhere around her. I also have a rat and a corn snake in this room. So I have to go in the other room to do the gluing, because I don't want them to get sick from the smell. And in case you do want to take a boo, this is my corn snake. the big boy. He is very friendly. I know this is for reborn dolls, but since I mentioned him, I thought some of y'all may want to see him. He's hungry. He's about 3 feet in length. But yeah, he's never bitten us. He's never struck us. And he only gets, why is he so friendly? It's because he only gets frozen. He does not get live food. So, and my rat is my pet, not his lunch, just saying. So, I have to go to the other room. Here is my rat, my lovey. So, I'm going to glue that in, glue it, glue. Blah, blah, blah. There's a full moon coming up on March 12th. I am going to glue the magnet in now. So I have glued the magnet in place. You might not want to glue it in place. It could stay open freely in the pacifier. It really doesn't matter. I wanted to glue mine in. Now, because mine is on an angle, this is not going to fit back on the way I want it to. So I'm going to go ahead and melt off half the side, because I'm just going to glue it on. I don't need to snap it back on because of the way her magnet sits. So, as you can see, that won't fit on. So I have to go ahead and melt half of that so that I can just glue it, and it can just be glued and happily sit on top here. So I will do that and show you all what it looks like. So as you can see by all the little plastic crumbles, I have went ahead and I just took off the complete thing around there so I can just glue this on. I didn't bother only taking half of it off. I completely filed it down with an X-Acto knife. I've got my magnet glued in. Now I am going to glue this onto there. Now we let it sit. I'll put the dot on the other side and let that sit. And we're going to let it sit for a good 24 to 48 hours. Otherwise it does that and falls apart on you. And there's a chance you could get glue on your baby. And you don't want that. So, I'm going to go set this up. And we'll see you in 24 to 48 hours. Hi guys. So it's been about 48 hours since I've made the pacifier. It is dry. There is no glue residue or nothing that's sticky. What I like about the E6000 is I did get some over here on the bottom, and I just, well, as soon as I got it on there when it was still wet, I just wiped it off, and as you can see, you can't see it or nothing, like it still has the shine. See that shine of light go around it? So, this is a pacifier clip I got her from the dollar store. And this is her outfit of the day. And now she has a purple pacifier to go with it. And actually, there's a little hat to go with it. And there's also a bib that says cutie. And a headband. I'm actually making a couple more pacifiers. So I got some glue residue on my hands that I don't want to get on her, so I'm not going to touch her. And I just wanted to show you all that. So love you. Bye for now.